Welcome to the deep dive. We take interesting bits of information, things we find, and we really look closely at them.
That's the idea.
Today, we're diving into a conversation. It's between a father and his son, Alex. The dad's just gotten back home after a trip.
Yeah, we've got the details of their chat. It covers, Alex's time alone, what happened at home, studies, maybe some future plans too.
It sounds really relatable.
It does. Gives you a real slice of family life.
Exactly. We'll touch on schoolwork, chores, maybe an unexpected issue or two, and what they're thinking about next. Things like responsibility, communication, stuff lots of families deal with.
And I'm here to help us sort of unpack the details. What can we really learn from how they talk to each other? What's going on beneath the surface?
Okay, let's get into it. So the father arrives home, and the script says he's pretty tired.
Yeah, exhausted is the word used. Sounds like a long journey. And when he gets in, Alex is actually in his room. Doesn't come rushing out.
Huh. Okay. So maybe not the warmest welcome immediately.
Maybe not. So the father goes to check on him.
Right. And he asks Alex, the usual stuff. How are you? How's school?
And Alex says, fine. Studies are going well. Pretty standard stuff.
Then
Alex admits he felt a bit lonely and bored, actually, while his dad was away.
Oh, interesting. He said that pretty early on.
It is, yeah. Maybe just wanted to get it out there.
And the father? How does he react?
He apologizes. Says, sorry, but I had to go for this training. So there's maybe a little guilt there, knowing Alex was on his own.
Makes sense. So that leads to the next question, right? What did Alex do while he was alone?
Well, according to Alex, he spent most of his time at school, studying hard. He mentions an exam coming up.
And does the father buy that?
Well, the father sounds a little, maybe playfully skeptical, like really, all the time.
Okay.
But then he does acknowledge Alex seems focused on his studies.
So how are the studies going? Alex said fine, but any details?
Yeah, Alex says he did well in most things, but math was a bit of a problem. Struggled there.
Math. Classic villain for some kids.
Right. But here's something interesting. The father reveals he actually hired a private math teacher for Alex.
Oh, wow. So the father knew about the math struggles already.
Seems like it. Or at least suspected. It shows he's paying attention, trying to support him.
And Alex's reaction?
He's grateful. He says he knows numbers are tough for him, so he appreciates the help. Shows some self-awareness from Alex, too.
That's good. And I like the part where the father shares his own past struggles with math. That kind of empathy helps, doesn't it?
Definitely. Builds a connection. It's not just about grades. Alex also mentions getting a great grade in music, though.
Okay. A high point.
Yeah. And he brings up his interest in playing the guitar. Maybe even professionally someday.
So he's really into the guitar.
Seems like it. And this connects to him asking his father for a favor.
Let me guess. Money.
That's what the father thinks, too. He anticipates a request for cash.
Typical parent reaction, maybe.
Could be. But Alex clarifies. He says, no, it's just for guitar classes. He wants to learn more, even though he already has music at school.
So he wants extra lessons. Shows initiative.
It does. He's passionate about it.
And the father's response. Does he agree?
He says he'll think about it. Not a firm yes, not yet.
Wonder why the hesitation. Maybe cost? Or wants to see if Alex sticks with it.
It could be either. Or maybe just processing everything else that's happened. So then the conversation shifts to chores.
Right, the stuff Alex was supposed to do around the house.
The father asks about them. Alex says, yep, did them. Clean the house every day. Never forgot.
And does the house look clean?
Apparently, yes. The father observed the rooms look tidy.
Okay. Points for Alex on responsibility there.
And Alex even lists other things. Washed clothes, mopped the floor, cleaned dishes. Seems like he really did put in the effort.
Good for him. But I sense a but coming.
Well, the father then asks about something specific. A broken pipe.
A broken pipe. Okay, that sounds like a potential issue.
Alex confirms, yeah, pipe broke. But he handled it. Called a plumber last week, and it's all fixed now.
Impressive. Taking charge.
Yes, but then Alex adds something else. He says the plumber also fixed the fridge.
The fridge? Why? Was it broken before the dad left?
Nope. The father points that out. The fridge was fine.
So what happened to the fridge?
Alex gets a bit hesitant here. He explains it was an accident. He had a friend over for lunch.
Okay.
And, well, he got distracted by a call from his friend and left the fridge door open by mistake.
Oh, dear. That can cause problems.
And apparently it wasn't the first time he'd left it open.
So the father's reaction, is he angry?
He sounds mildly frustrated, which you can understand, but he seems to accept Alex's explanation. Tries to be understanding, maybe.
Okay. But fridge repairs can be expensive.
Bingo. Alex reveals it cost $200.
Ouch.
And he
Yeah.
paid for it with his father's credit card.
Oh, without asking first.
Yeah, it seems that way. The father's reaction is interesting. He just says he doesn't know how he feels about that.
Yeah, that's tricky. Alex solved the problem, but using the card without permission. That's a trust issue, isn't it?
Exactly. It really highlights that tension between independence and, following the rules. Communication again.
So where do they go from there? That feels like a heavy moment.
They shift topics slightly. Alex mentions trying to contact his mother, Riley.
Right. The mom is away.
Yeah, she's in Asia. Won't be back until next year, apparently. Alex wanted to ask her some things.
Must be tough, her being so far away.
For sure. The father is supportive, tells Alex it's absolutely okay to call her.
That's good. Did Alex manage to speak with her?
Yes, they talked about the call. Alex shares that his mom misses them both, and she's planning to return at the end of the year.
Oh, that's good news then.
Yeah, seems like a relief for both of them. The father says he misses her too. A shared feeling there.
A nice moment of connection. What else came up?
Well, Alex mentions he painted his room.
Oh. Did the father notice?
He had noticed it looked different, yeah. So Alex painting it explains why.
Did he ask permission for that? Or just
Yeah.
do it?
It doesn't explicitly say, but the father's next question is, did you buy anything else? Makes you wonder.
Uh-huh. And did he?
He did. A big one. A new computer.
Whoa. Okay. That's not a small purchase. What was the reason?
Alex explained his old one was about 5 years old, getting slow. And he apparently needed a new, better one for a big school project.
That sounds potentially legitimate, but I bet the father wasn't thrilled about not knowing beforehand.
You got it. The father expresses that he wishes Alex had told him first. It comes back to communication.
Did Alex have an excuse? Or a reason?
Alex says he tried to call his dad about it, but his dad didn't answer.
Missed connection.
And the father actually accepts responsibility for that, saying it was his mistake for not answering. So maybe fault on both sides there.
Seems like it. Anything else pop up?
One more thing, the cat. The father notices their cat is missing.
Oh no. Where's the cat?
Alex hasn't seen it either, though he fed it that morning. They can't find it right away.
Any ideas where it might be?
The father suggests checking the roof. He says the cat sometimes goes up there when it's sad or scared. Shows he knows the pet's habits well.
Okay. Why would it be scared?
Alex guesses maybe his loud music scared it off earlier.
Plausible. Kids and loud music, right?
So Alex agrees to go look. The
Yeah.
father reminds him, take care of the cat. A little reminder about responsibility.
Okay. So lots happened while the dad was away. Broken pipes, new computers, missing cats.
Quite the week for Alex. But just before the conversation ends, Alex remembers one more thing.
What's that?
A message. His friend John called for the father.
Okay.
John invited the father to play in a badminton tournament they're organizing.
Badminton. Okay, that's a bit random. Does the father play?
He says it's been a long time, but he sounds kind of interested. Like, it could be fun.
A chance to de-stress after the trip and everything with Alex?
Maybe. Alex teases him a bit about playing badminton.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But the father insists he plays well, and even invites Alex to come watch.
Huh. That's a nice lighter moment between them. Shows that father-son dynamic.
Definitely. Kind of rounds off the conversation nicely. Then Alex says he needs to go rest. He has a test tomorrow.
Right, back to the studies.
And the father agrees. So that's where their talk ends for now.
Wow. Okay, so looking back at that whole conversation, what are the big takeaways for you?
Well, like you said earlier, it feels very typical in many ways. You see these really relatable family dynamics playing out.
Yeah.
You've got Alex, who's clearly growing up, trying to handle things himself, sometimes successfully, sometimes making mistakes, like with the fridge or the computer. He's testing his independence.
Right. Balancing responsibility and maybe needing a bit more guidance.
Exactly. And then you have the father who's trying to navigate that. He wants to support Alex, like with the math tutor, but also needs to address the issues like the credit card without, shutting down communication.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Trusting your kid, but also setting boundaries.
Absolutely. And it really shows how much you can learn from just listening to how people talk to each other. Their relationship is evolving. Alex isn't a little kid anymore.
No, clearly not. Painting rooms, buying computers.
And the father is adjusting to that. It also highlights how crucial open talk is. Like with the computer, if they'd connected, maybe it wouldn't have been a surprise.
It's fascinating how these everyday conversations, even the slightly messy ones, reveal so much about family life and relationships.
That's so true. Even the small things, like talking about the mom being away, or the missing cat, or the badminton invite, they all add layers to the picture of their lives.
So, maybe a final thought for you, our listener. Think about a conversation you've had recently, maybe with family, maybe with a friend. If you were to sort of do a deep dive on it like we just did, what little details might jump out? What could you learn about the dynamic, the unspoken feelings, or just the stage of life everyone's in?
Yeah, sometimes the most revealing things are hidden in plain sight, in our ordinary chats.
Something to think about. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive today.